The Irish people were the only race that withstood the invasion of the Romans and later resisted successfully the Teutonic migration. When the English crossed the Gulf that separated Great Britain from Ireland, they found a Celtic people with Celtic government such as Caesar found when he invaded Gaul. The government of Ireland was tribal and weak. The Irish could not call together a powerful army to repel the invaders. Their men were untrained. They loved liberty so much that they could not subordinate their tribal differences sufficiently to permit them to remain long under the command of any central leader. They was a pastoral and peace-loving people and were not organized for long drawn-out war. England had long existed amid war. Foreign troops had camped many times on England's shores. The island had been successfully overran by Romans, Anglo-Saxons, Danes, and Normans. Each conqueror had left his imprint on the English character and had changed the people from a Celtic race like the Irish to one vastly different in composition. And that's where you stand today, not knowing who you was. Torn repeatedly by war, England had been forced to unity. With the Norman invasion, she was bound more firmly together than ever before. While the common people resented the rule of the Normans, they were forced to submit to the superior organization of William the Conqueror. Superior organization conquers Ireland. The superior military organization and centralization of government enabled the English to overcome Ireland. In these days and times, what they call the central bank and all of that. The valor of the troops had nothing to do with the outcome. The chiefs of Ireland were sent flying from the field, and Ireland became a part of her neighbor across the Gulf. Although England conquered the island of Ireland, she never conquered the people. The Irish still persist as a nationality. Today you call yourselves white. They said they persist as a nationality. Where's your nationality at? As distinct as the English, Germans, French, or any other people. No one ever mistakes an Irish for an Englishman. In these days you do, because the Irish is carrying the Bible just like the Englishman. With the downfall of Catholicism as the religion of state in England and the setting up of the established Church of England, the Irish still remain faithful to Rome. We already did the demonstration in regards to the Scottish. One Scottish Moor can kill 3 Moors. So they was traitors. Then you got Ireland over here abandoning their land, which Ireland really came from as far as the barbers. The our land, that's our land, like a pirate, our. We done went over that as well. An Irish parliament was established by the crown. You hear that? By the crown. But it was provided that no Catholic could have seals in the parliament. Of course, the nobility of Ireland was composed of Englishmen who had been given estates in the land because of their military service, because you all abandoned it, because the Irish, the Scottish, all of them has been infiltrated. They took the crumbs, gave away their birthrights, helped killing the Moors and all of that. The first important military organization in Ireland was formed during the American Revolution. John Paul Jones, the first American sea fighter of note, but we're not going to call him American. European paleskins are so quick to call each other American. Dared the power of Britain and crossed the Atlantic, where he harassed British commerce. He even entered parts of Ireland for supplies. His presence around Ireland frightened the English, and they feared he would attempt to invade the island. It was also feared the French might cross over and take possession of the territory. And that's exactly what happened with the Moorish Empire, whether it be Morocco or all the way over here. It was called the French Protectorate. England didn't want Ireland. Yeah, right. These colonizers want anything and everything they can get their hands on. It was a constant source of trouble and expenses. Yet when fear of invasion was aroused, they were willing to spend more money for defense. See, I told you, they BS. In Ireland, the Ulsterites pictured the horrors of being seized by France, and then it eventually did, and flew to arms. Ulster had been settled during the 17th century with immigrants from Scotland and England, always scurrying and running, abandoning your post, abandoning your birthright to your inheritance of your land because you left it, you immigrants. Irish from other sections of the island were imbued with the enthusiasm of the North and joined for the common defense. And the North ended up being the Fabian Society and the Rothschilds. You all are your ancestors are a bunch of traitors, and you are who your ancestors were today without doubt or contradiction, and that's true. So hold your little holy Bible. The organization of the volunteers at that time has been continued to some extent in Ulster ever since. The Irish Parliament was the cause of considerable disappointment and ill feeling at all times. Finally, it was decided to abolish it, and Ireland sent members to the English Parliament at London. The union was as disasterful as the separate parliament. The Irish are poor. They are taxed heavily to support their country, and they have long felt that they could govern themselves more economically. The English Parliament has voted many reforms for Ireland. Why is the Irish allowing the so-called English to administrate in their national affairs? Being incompetent, being dead in the eyes of law, having to have representation instead of presenting yourself in propria persona sua juris. Full life. It first admitted Catholics to the right of franchise. It next de-established the Church of England and Ireland, so the Irish did not need to support a church in which they had no faith. So why are you supporting the church today? Again, all the Irish carry Bibles. England bought out the landlords. Again, England bought out the landlords so as to give the tenants more freedom. In spite of reforms, the Irish have flocked away from their native land, like I'm always bitching about. In the last 60 years, Ireland has lost 4 million in population, giving up your birthright and your inherited land, you dumb ass son of a bitches. The immigrants are not going to the other lands where the English rule. They are going to the United States and South America. Yeah, becoming a naturalized citizen, becoming extinguished of your nationality. The best men of Ireland are the ones leaving. They are men and women of ambition in their youth. They take away with them their ability and strength and give it away to another country. And what's bad is it ain't even a country, it's a corporation. You extinguish your nationality to have a U.S. corporate citizenship, 14th Amendment, that has civil rights, which is unconstitutional. You don't have no nationality, you're stateless, so the citizens treat you any which way they care to bestow upon you. Ireland is a financial drain on the mother country. Talking about your own homeland. Eagerly would the statesmen of England get rid of Ireland if they could. Yeah, right. As early as 1873, the greatest statesmen of England were ready to grant home rule to the Irish. Who can give you authority over your own birthright? You all are idiots. Quit being a beggared nation and trying to have foreign nations to assist you in your foreign affairs. But the majority of the English could not see the question in the light of the few great ones. When Parliament voted on the first bill, it was defeated overwhelmingly. 53 Irish members voted for separation. Indeed, 37 Irish voted against it. The England vote stood. 421 against home rule and only 6 votes for it. Gladstone forced out by defeat. Gladstone introduced the bill and fought for it in the House of Commons. It was beaten 341 to 311. Gladstone was retired and a new parliament and premier were chosen. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration at the Cornish Temple. Don't mistake this for hate, because this is love, because I want you to return back to your foremothers and forefathers' divine creed and ancient ways, and it was not what we are practicing in these modern days. You are allowing foreigners to enter into your judicial, executive, and administrative functions. Man, it's a great thing to know law and to know thyself. If you have any questions, you can contact the Cornish Temple at gmail.com, and I will respond when time permits. To the few, if you would like a nationality card or a membership card, which is free, you can contact the email as well, because we are ipso jure more subject. Yes, Cornish Temple is the mother temple of southern jurisdiction, but that's for the Europeans. In regards to the Moorish Americans, this is their inherited land. But for the sake of you knowing yourself and the paramount importance of nationality, I suggest that you should get one. As far as membership, it is 7 notes a month. 7 notes. Peace and love.